The following podcast you're about to listen to is brought to you by the Push Start Media Network, where everything you do in life begins with pushing start. Welcome to another edition of Sports Your Enthusiasm Sports Podcast. Me, your humble host, Bryce Benjamin. Him, co-host of the year, Ed Rueter. What's good? What's good, my dude? How you feeling?
To quote Bernie Mac, who the fuck is him? Him downstairs. Motherfucker, who is him? Hi, it's great to be here.
It's like a cookies.
Sounded so funny. I want to hear him say it again. I don't know why we started today with Bernie Mac, but I'm glad that we did.
I think his birthday just passed like a couple of days ago, I believe.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's subconsciously just stuck in the back of my mind there. But
I think that was one of like the greatest stand-up performances I ever seen. Like I don't think I ever laughed that hard in my life from a stand-up.
Oh, the whole Kings of Comedy. The whole Kings of Comedy was outstanding. All four of them dudes put on a show that night.
That's a big fact, man.
It was awesome.
R.I.P. to Bernie.
Man. Absolutely, man. So what are we talking about today, Bryce? What are we doing? What's on the agenda? Let's tell the people. We are
talking about everything. We're talking about politics. We're talking about food. We're talking about, I'm just playing. We're talking about, man. We're talking about sports.
That's right.
Football. We got World Series baseball going on. UFC 254 just happened. Khabib, another dominating performance. Man, like we're going to kick it off with football. Week 7 in the books. But before we dive too deep into things, man, I just wanted to do a real quick shout out to my guy, Tony Bennett, and his business called Checklist Home Improvement Services. So this brother and his team, they just recently did our bathroom. We just got our bathroom remodeled. Okay. And I just got to say, man, the professionalism from this dude from start to finish was literally like above and beyond anything that I think I could have ever experienced from anybody else. And then on top of that, what he did in terms of the product in the bathroom, how he was working his ass off, like literally from fucking 6 o'clock in the morning until like 6 o'clock at night, always here grinding it out and just making sure that everything was perfect. Like everything was to the T, everything was perfect. Me and my girl, we're noobs at this. So he just guided us along, answered any questions that we had. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to let the people that's listening out there, man, if you need any home improvements done, because he does everything, any type of work that you need to get done, him and his team, hit him up. I got their contact information right here. It is Checklist Home Improvement Services. You can contact him by calling him or texting him, 716-238-4753. Or you can also send them an email, checklist125@gmail.com. They have a Facebook page. You can follow him on Facebook, like him on Facebook, and you can see all his work, man. Like my bathroom is on there. He has some other work that he's done that they've done together. But just like A1 service through in and throughout. And I just wanted to take a minute to give them a shout out, man. And hopefully if you're listening to this and you need some home improvements done, you definitely hit him up, man. He's sponsoring this show right here. So this episode today. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to Tony and his group. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I love supporting local business. It's really a great thing. Anytime we can do anything to help local businesses, I'm all about it. Are we going to put a link in the description?
You goddamn right. We go put a link in the description.
Oh my God. I just always wanted to say that.
It's already there.
I just wanted to say link in the description.
Link in the description. Make sure. Oh my God. Make sure. Yes. The link is going to be in the description. Make sure that you click it. Hit them up, man. I'm serious. Like I'm not just saying this to say it. Like I wanted to really take the opportunity to do this and let you guys know how good of a job that he's done and how satisfied we are with our bathroom, man. It's like I take a poop and it's just like, fuck. I'm taking a shit in a glorious bathroom right now.
That's an important room. That's an important room. So it
really is.
You called the right guy for the right room.
I do all my like major thinking in the room. I come up with all my great ideas. This podcast,
everybody does.
This podcast was birthed in the bathroom.
It's amazing.
Like dead ass.
I see now how I was chosen as co-host of the year now.
Because you are the shit, Rueter.
Oh,
you like that?
That was good. That was a good transition. You have to figure out now how to segue this into the NFL. I did.
Yeah, I got you. So I just say you like that. Kirk Cousins didn't play. I like that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say shit. And then the NFC East. I thought we had several.
You know what? That would have been a better
available for you.
That would have been a better transition. You should have did it. If you had it and you passed it to me when you had the better one.
Hey, co-host of the year. That's what I do.
Exactly. But yeah, NFC East fucking blows, bro. Like we had to watch the shit bowl on Thursday between the Giants and the Eagles. And let's just stick with that game. Let's start there, man. So Rueter, tell me this. How do you, a professional athlete, break away on an 80-yard run, like nobody's within 20 yards of you, and instead of, waltzing into the end zone and scoring a touchdown like a normal person, you get tripped up by the fucking turf monster and end up not scoring the touchdown? Well, eventually they did get it, but still. Like, that only could happen to an NFC East team, right? And it had to happen to the New Jersey Giants, of course, right?
Obviously. I don't know that I've ever quite seen something like that. And that's hard to say in 2020 after, nearly 30 years of watching football, that I've seen something that I've never seen before. And that sounds like hyperbole, but in this case, he had so much separation, right? And you said the turf monster got him. Now, I've seen players, as they're running, everyone's kind of had that experience where the foot clips the back leg or the knees kind of knock a little bit and you go down hard and quickly. This guy looked like he was like some kind of a robot just slowly breaking down before he fell down. Like he didn't get oiled properly and he just slowly malfunctioned and fell down. It was absolutely a sight to see. And if you haven't seen it, I mean, it's been on every blooper reel where it will be forever. But if you haven't seen it, check it out. The Daniel Jones 80-yard run. And for all things considered, beautifully drawn up play, right?
Yes, it worked perfectly.
Fake to the left, beautiful. The entire defense bit. And when I say the entire defense, I mean the entire defense. 11 men bit on the fake run to the left. Quarterback bootleg out to the right. He escapes. Nobody within 15 to 20 yards. And he just breaks down, just falls down, got sleepy and laid down. I don't know what happened there. Insane.
The funniest part about it, you seen it the whole time it was happening too. Like, cause he got to about the 40 and I just started thinking like, yo, he's not going to score. He's going to trip. Like, I just started to see like his legs, he looked like Bambi when he was first born. Like his legs just started getting real wobbly. It just got like off balance. Like, I don't know. Like it had to be that he never probably ran that fast in his life before, right? Like, that had to be it. Like he reached a new level of speed that he didn't know that he could achieve, and he couldn't handle that level. And eventually he ultimately just tripped up.
Well, from what I understand, you might absolutely be right there, because from what I understand, it was the fastest run or the fastest top speed that a quarterback has reached since 2018, which in the era of Lamar Jackson, I thought was shocking. So I don't know if there
Jackson, Kyler Murray, Cam Newton,
I don't know if there was
quarterback
something wrong with the old speed gun, but he did look quick. He looked spry. He was out there, and then
he took off. He took the fuck off.
In watching the replay, the crazy thing was, you're absolutely right. Around the 40, you see it in his face. Of course, you can't see it from the main angle where he just tumbles, but you see this look on his face, like it's just over for him at around the 40-yard line, and he didn't make it past the 15. So I'll be damned if that division isn't entertaining.
Man, but other than that, man, the game actually was pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed that game. That throw that Carson Wentz made to pretty much win the game to Boston Scott, that was a fucking dime, bro. That between that throw and Brady throw, like those is like the two throws of the week for me.
I thought there were a couple of good ones. I actually thought Baker had a couple of nice ones on the game-winning drive to beat Cincinnati.
Yeah,
I don't know if you caught those.
Yeah, he did. Peoples Jones, the People's Court. He had I thought he pushed off on that play too, by the way. And yeah, he did. He definitely did.
He definitely pushed off a little bit there, but whatever. Still a beautiful throw, beautiful catch. The body control for these wide receivers is just out of control, man. How they keep their feet in when they're full extension is just absolutely beyond me. But yeah, a couple of really nice throws in during the week. Carson Wentz, I thought, again, classic Carson Wentz, kind of shows you those flashes of brilliance amongst a whole myriad of just mediocrity. And that's really been the hallmark, aside from the Super Bowl year, it's kind of been the hallmark of his career. And I was kind of interested on your take on Carson Wentz in general, because a lot of people are really high on him. And still to this day, despite the really poor showing this year, would still put him in the top 10 or even top 5 as a quarterback.
Carson is a lot like Joe Flacco and that caliber of quarterback, where they got to have the weapons around them to be at their best. They're not the Tom Brady's, they're not the Peyton Mannings, where no matter who you got around them, they're going to make them better. He doesn't. Well, actually, you know what? I can't really say that, though, because he is like on the fringe. He's like right there where he's elite enough to be able to take a practice squad team of receivers and get them to the playoffs last year. But then you actually give him like legit weapons. He looked like a fucking MVP. Like, you remember that season, year 2 in the league? Like, he was the MVP of the season until he tore his ACL. So it's just one of those things, man. He like, if you give him the proper weapons, you give him the proper protection, because that Eagles offensive line is terrible. He can go out there and be a 11, 12 win quarterback. But then you take all those weapons away, he's getting fucking battered. Like, I remember when we played him, we was just killing him all game. Then he kind of looks pedestrian, but he comes out, he makes those throws. He's like, you're never out of a game with Carson Wentz. Like, you're never out of a game with him. You're really not. Like, he has that he has that it factor about him, man. I fucks with Carson Wentz. I'm a Carson Wentz believer. I'm a Carson Wentz supporter. And if I'm an Eagles fan, like, I'm not, I don't want to get rid of him or nothing there, because, I mean, you want to turn to Jalen Hurts, who they bring in as sub packages. He looks pretty good, but he's unknown. He's an unknown commodity. So that's tough. Just my take on Carson, man. I like him.
It's tough. It's hard to say after, what is it, 3-4 years in the league that, the jury's still out, because it didn't seem like the jury was still out. It seemed like he was a legit stud in that Super Bowl run. It looked like he was taking just really subpar receivers through to the playoffs last year. And then, I don't know, this year, it seems like it's him, though, too. I mean, yes, he's hitting the turf a lot. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of talent around him, but it seems like the decision-making is off. I don't know whether he's just rattled and he's trying to do too much, but he doesn't seem like the same player. That he looked lost out there early in the season. So I don't know if, you don't know in a year of COVID, we kind of forget that, these players didn't have a lot of time to prep for the season and they didn't have any preseason games. Maybe he's a player that needs that. There are going to be some anomalies. I said I was very interested to see if there were going to be any players that stepped up this year, or if there were any players that took steps backwards this year that you could kind of maybe relate to COVID-19. And maybe this is one of them. Maybe he's someone, because he's well coached. Doug Peterson is a highly respected coach. He seems like he's got all the arm talent in the world, just like he's not getting it done. And I haven't physically with my eyes watched enough Eagles games to see if he really passes the eye test or what's going on, but he just doesn't seem like the same player this year. That's why I was very interested to hear your take.
I mean, right now his number one receiver is Fulgham. Again, it's just his tight end is done for the season.
Both of them, I think. Well, Goddard and I know Ertz. Yeah,
both of them are done. Your best receiver right now is Fulgham, who's like a 6th round pick, and he's been awesome. Don't get me wrong; he's made some crazy catches. Ward is basically a second receiver. Like, he has no receivers out there. And
Miles Sanders has missed time. I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of injuries around him, but again, I think trying to do too much. And the crazy thing is they're right out there in front of that NFC East at 2-4-1. So it looks like he may lead them to the playoffs anyway.
Yo, just kind of moving forward, I'm very confused about the Buffalo Bills. I think I've officially moved them because after the Rams win, I kind of put them in like, okay, this is a real contender in the AFC. But then they lose back-to-back games against Tennessee, getting blown out by them, and then losing to KC. And the KC, let's be honest, they dominated that game from start to finish. And then they get a layup against the New Jersey Jets. And, I mean, they scored 18 points off of 6 field goals from a rookie kicker, where they couldn't score a touchdown on the fucking New York Jets.